Hey everybody. People always ask me, Manny, what tools should I be using for my Amazon business? Well, this episode is brought to you by helium10.com. These are the same tools I use to generate 6 figures per month with Amazon FBA. I get keyword research, product tracking, listing optimization, search term tracking, account monitoring, and a lot of other brand new money pulling tools that are going to be released to Helium 10 members on a regular basis. If you're going to grab any tools, check these out. Seriously, get a massive advantage with the tools that top sellers are using right now. Okay, and they're all in one place. Some tools and services will have a user cap, so get in there as quickly as you can. That's helium10.com, helium10.com.
Warning, the following podcast has been classified as insanely lucrative. Listener discretion is advised.
I can get that money. I can get 100 grand, 120 grand, whatever the amount's going to be, deposited into my account now. I don't have to wait for Amazon. I can place those orders.
Your attention, please. Listening to the AM/PM podcast may cause recurring revenue streams and unfair advantages over your competitors. Other side effects may include fatter wallets, fired bosses, and longer vacations. Listen at your own risk. Here's your host, 7-figure entrepreneur and online marketing madman, Manny Coats. Manny Coats.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AM/PM podcast. My name is Manny Coats, and I will be your host, and this is the show where we discuss all things Amazon private label and how to generate recurring revenue streams 24 hours per day during the AM and the PM, hence the name of the show, AM/PM podcast. As a matter of fact, I was just checking stats. I was curious if I had any days recently where I hit at least 400 units sold in a given day. And sure enough, I did. I've had 4 days in a row, the last 4 days, where I've gone over 400 units. And while I was checking out those stats, guys, I was making money. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. So today is a very special day for you guys that are looking to get money quick and are tired of waiting 2 weeks to get paid by Amazon. Because there's a company that I've been really interested in and I've signed up for and that I'm now interviewing on this podcast called Payability. And I've been using them now for a little bit and they are awesome. They allow you essentially to get paid daily, okay? So unless you've been selling on Amazon for like 6 years where you have one of those daily payout accounts, you're gonna get paid every 2 weeks like I do, right? And that can be problematic. For example, right now, I'm making crazy sales, crushing it, right? Big, huge days because of Christmas. But that money isn't going to be available until every 2 weeks. Luckily for me, I get paid tomorrow on one of them. But all the sales I get in the last week up until Christmas, right? Actually, technically about, 9 days or so. All of those sales, I'm not going to get paid on until January, the beginning of January. So the problem with that is you've got Chinese New Year coming around, right? And you want to get all your orders in, or at least I do. And I got to pay my Chinese suppliers, right? They don't give me credit, all right? Not in the traditional sense. So I got to pay them. And if I'm buying like a 40-foot container full of stuff, it's expensive. So by using Payability, I can go in there right now, click a button, boom, and the money gets deposited in my account. If I need more money 2 days from now, boom, I click the button, money goes into my account. It's super awesome. It's like instant deposits from Amazon. So we're going to be talking with Payability or interviewing the co-founder and CEO of Payability. And we're going to find out if this is for you. I think it is. It's pretty awesome. Like I said, I don't promote anything to you guys or talk about a service that I don't think is just really good. That's either making me money or saving me time. And this definitely allows me to make money. And make sure you stay until the very, very end, the last seconds of this podcast, because there's a special deal, something super cool that we put together. We've talked to the CEO and made something special that you can't get anywhere else, okay? It's only through us, through something we're setting up that we're offering to the AM/PM podcast listeners. So it's pretty awesome, and we're sweetening the deal even more. So stay tuned until the end. And let's get into that interview right now. Hello, everybody. I am here with Keith Smith. He is the co-founder and CEO of Payability. Keith, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing well. How are you, Manny?
I am good. Busy season right now. It's crazy. We're recording this middle of December, and I know, having talked to you, things are just nuts for both of us.
They are. It's a good nuts, though, generally speaking.
Exactly. So tell us a little bit about Payability. I mentioned in the beginning that you are a 3-year-old startup. You guys have been getting cash and making it available to sellers the very next day. But tell us how you guys actually started the business.
Yeah, so the idea originally came from the experience that I was having as well as my co-founder was having when we were running companies in the ad tech space. So we were publishers, we were getting paid from big marketplaces, digital marketplaces, and we just saw how we were able to transact with, and do business with these marketplaces in a matter of seconds or milliseconds, and yet we were waiting an extended period of time to actually get paid for our services or for whatever it was we were selling. In that case, it happened to be eyeballs and ad inventory. So that was really the thing that spurred for us the initial idea, which was in the original thesis, which was if we can provide a very scalable, very easy, very simple to use financing solution for especially small, medium-sized businesses that are doing business with these large digital marketplaces, that's something that can be in huge demand. And so that was the original thesis. It kind of evolved from there to this idea that really what digital marketplaces promise for suppliers is that you can start a business and you don't really have to worry about the demand side of the business. All you really have to think about is the supply side, because the marketplace is supposed to provide that demand side. And there's really no marketplace that fulfills that promise better than Amazon. And so that's what has ultimately led us to focus on Amazon. We have several different categories and verticals that we work with, but Amazon is absolutely the category, and specifically Amazon sellers are the clients that we're finding that our product is the best fit for, and we're really growing really rapidly right now just because we're focusing on doing exactly that, which is providing financing solutions that are scalable, that'll help the suppliers scale, and making sure that they can get that cash flow faster than what they can if they just wait for Amazon to pay them on their normal time frame.
Right. And so that's the cool thing, just to simplify for everybody. With Amazon, most sellers, they're going to have to wait about 2 weeks to get paid by Amazon for whatever they sold. And if you join your program, if you sign up through Payability, you guys make it so that at any point they become an account essentially where you can go in on a daily basis and make those deposits from the previous day. Is that correct?
That's exactly right. Yeah. So the idea and the product is called Instant Access. And so if you have sales on Monday, you can log into your Payability account Tuesday morning and you can see those funds sitting in your Payability account. And then you can access those funds. You can either put them directly into your bank account or you can deposit them onto a pre-funded MasterCard, what we provide to each of our clients. And then when you spend funds there, then you actually get a rebate, a cashback rebate for the funds that you're spending on that pre-funded MasterCard.
All right, that's awesome. And guys, I'm actually using Payability. I've already deposited just over, all right, I think it's right around $100,000. And I just noticed this morning another $10,000 popped into the account. So this becomes super valuable, especially around this time. I'm in December. This is for me, and I'm sure a lot of sellers are in the same boat. But you're making these massive sales, right? Your sales are 2x, 3x, 4x what they normally are. But you're not going to get paid on these funds until mid-month, maybe even the end of the month, right? The last week of Christmas, perhaps, or leading up to Christmas, you're not going to get those funds until the end of the month. And the issue here for a lot of people, especially those that are importing from China, is that you have the Chinese New Year coming up, and you need to get your orders in now, right? You got to pay for your orders, get everything going, because otherwise, you're not going to get the orders finished in time. They're not going to get shipped out in time. And you're going to miss out. But a lot of the suppliers, they don't give you credit. You need to pay in advance, right, before they ship out. So by using Payability, at least in my case, I can get that money. I can get $100,000, $120,000, whatever the amount's going to be, deposited into my account now. I don't have to wait for Amazon. I could place those orders, get everything set up, put on a boat, and it's ready to go. So it's fantastic in terms of getting that cash right now to place those orders.
Yeah, and you nailed it. It's all about refilling that inventory faster so you're not missing out on lost sales. And the best way to do that is, of course, get paid faster for the sales that you are making.
Yeah. So how many sellers are using Payability now?
We are just under 1,000 at this point. We launched our product for sellers in late Q2 of this year, so it's relatively new. We've been in this business for 3 years now. We worked with a variety of other verticals, but really started paying attention to Amazon sellers and listening to Amazon sellers, having conversations with a bunch of them, and really shaped our product, this new version of our product, around a version that was going to work well for Amazon and specifically for Amazon sellers. Launched that in kind of late Q2 of this year, and it's just been growing like gangbusters since then.
How many days does a seller actually have to be selling on Amazon before they qualify for your program?
So we want to see 90 days of historical sales with Amazon. That way you've gone through several sales cycles or payment cycles. They're typically, of course, paying bi-weekly, so you're getting a payment every couple of weeks. And so being able to see that, having gone through a little bit, and at least be able to start to see some of the health statistics start to roll in, and that gives us enough insight to be able to then be able to onboard those customers.
Okay. Is this available to all sellers or only USA sellers?
So it is currently focused on USA sellers selling on Amazon.com. We do work with Canadian sellers, though, that are selling on Amazon.com, and we are starting to pilot in the UK and in Australia right now. So if you do have sellers that are in the UK, Australia, or Canada, if they're selling on Amazon.com and those sales are, of course, denominated in US dollars, then we can work with those folks now. Just launched and just opened up the UK and Australia, so that's relatively brand new for us, though.
Okay. Are there any credit checks required for somebody that's signing up?
There is a credit check at the company level, but it's interesting because a lot of the companies that we talk to and a lot of the smaller, medium-sized businesses that are getting started with Amazon, they really want to build their credit. So this is really a great way to build your credit because having a lack of credit is not going to disqualify you with us. Having bad credit and or maybe company level bankruptcies, those sorts of things, that might disqualify you. But for the most part, a lack of credit is not going to hurt you. But because we do report back to the credit agencies, this is actually a great way to build your credit. Is start working with us, start getting that good credit, and of course that just kind of starts to build you towards a point where you can ultimately down the road get kind of more traditional and mainstream types of financing to augment what we do, but it really is a great way to build up that business credit early on.
What credit agencies do you guys report back to?
So we work with and it's different on the business side than it is on the consumer side in terms of kind of the bureaus and how they do their reporting, et cetera. But we work with an aggregator that effectively pulls from all of the major business sources for business credit, and then we also then report back through this. So it reports right back through all those same channels. So all of the major sources that are keeping track of business credit are ones that we're kind of aggregating from and pulling from and then pushing to as well.
Okay, so Dun & Bradstreet, they would be probably one of the ones in there?
Yep, they are, definitely.
Okay. And just to clarify, just because you have a new company, if the company is under a year old and you do not have any kind of credit history with Dun & Bradstreet, doesn't disqualify you, still apply, see what happens, right?
Absolutely, yep. Yeah, so what we are looking for primarily is what is your history with Amazon, and making sure that the product that you are selling to Amazon is not going to have high rates of returns, is not going to have defect rates, is going to be shipped on time. All of the things that Amazon cares about with their health statistics are really the same exact things that we care about. So when we look for business credit, we're really looking to make sure that there's not other loans on the business or other significant black marks, but then you can help, of course, build a kind of a non-existent credit with us.
Okay. Do you guys have a limit on a return rate? If it hits a certain percentage, do you know what that would be where you would just say, yeah, it's too high?
As soon as it gets to the level that Amazon is uncomfortable with in each of those categories, then that's when it starts to hit our radar, and that's when we start to at least flag an account. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't work with you. What it typically will mean, though, is that we can just advance a little bit less than we would have otherwise. So we typically will be advancing 80% of the value of whatever it is that Amazon owes you. So we might increase that, what we call our reserve, from 20% to maybe 25 or 30%. In order to just make sure that we have extra cushion. And then what we do also is as those health statistics get back into the normal range, then we can reassess that, and we can, of course, bring it back to more normal levels, which is that we keep a reserve of 20%, which is us just not advancing those funds. And then we send those funds to the supplier as soon as we're actually paid by Amazon. But then we are advancing 80%. And that's kind of our normal structure for a normal healthy account.
Oh, okay. So yesterday's sales would show up on my account today. I would see 80% in the account today. And then the next day, I would get 80% of the previous day, but I would also get 100% of the reserves that were in there from the previous day.
When Amazon pays. So when Amazon makes their payment on 2 weeks later, and that payment actually comes into that pass-through account that I mentioned, then that's the moment then when we release those additional reserves.
Oh, so you get all the reserves for that 2 week period, let's say, all at once.
Precisely. Exactly.
Okay. All right. That's cool. And guys, signing up is fast. I mean, the whole process when I went through it was, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to go through the whole thing. You have really clear instructions. It's very simple. The actual approval process, how long does that typically take right now with the load of customers that are coming your way at this point?
So I'm super interested to hear actually how long it took for you. But I just looked and our average time to close for this month is 6.5 days, and it's crept up a little just because of the volume that we've had for Q4, and we're always working to get that down. But that's what the average is at this point in time. So still relatively fast. We're still looking to get that down to 3 to 4 days, which we likely will continue to be at, which is kind of a level that we're more comfortable at. Because really, what we pride ourselves in is having a very automated system that's very easy to use and works very, very quickly.
Yeah, and I think that's within the range that I was approved at. I think it took 3 or 4 days, and then by the 5th or 6th day, I had my first deposit in the account that I could actually put into my bank. So yeah, it was pretty fast.
Good.
Are there any other requirements other than what we talked about to qualify?
Really, it's about having your Amazon account, having it aged to at least 3 months, and of course that's significantly better than a lot of the hurdles that folks can run into if they're trying to get traditional financing, where a bank might need to see 2 years worth of history, et cetera. So just that little bit of aging, an account that's in good health. From a size perspective, we do have a minimum $250 a month fee, and so accounts that are much smaller, it probably just doesn't make a whole lot of sense early on. But we do have some very small clients that are doing $5,000 or $10,000 a month, and the reason why they're working with us is because they say, "Hey, the best way for me to be able to grow and to get my account to be of significant size is to make sure I can get paid faster." And so it's a worthwhile charge for them in the early days while they scale their business. But yeah, size is the only other thing that I would just comment on, that if you're not doing enough revenue to be able to justify a minimum $250 fee, then it may make sense to hold off a little bit.
Okay. So is there technically a limit to how small you'll allow? I mean, if the fee isn't an issue for somebody that's signing up, can they sign up with any kind of sales volume?
Yep, they sure can. They can sign up with any sales volume, and the way our system works is we just charge our regular fee based on the sales throughout the month, and then if the fees don't equal to $250, then at the very end of the month, then it just tops it off to that $250, and so it's real simple, really transparent, very, very easy to track and understand.
Okay, great. And then for larger sellers, people that are going over $250, you have a 1% fee, is that correct?
Yeah, it's a dynamic pricing, and the pricing really ranges between 1% and 2% based on a variety of different factors, most of which are the ones that we were just talking about. It's a little bit of our black box that we keep, that's proprietary pricing, dynamic pricing model. But yeah, between 1% and 2%, and the idea is that if you can, by getting next day access to your cash from your sales, if that can help you grow your business more than that 1% or 2%, then it's probably going to be worthwhile to be able to get access to that cash, refill your inventory faster, of course, grow your business much faster.
Okay, great. We talked about how small you can be. Is there a maximum size in terms of how much you can get paid out at a given moment, like one day, and on a per monthly basis as well?
There is not, no. So we have clients that are doing multiple millions of dollars per month. And yeah, we have, folks that are doing a couple $1,000s a month. And so we really do run a very wide spectrum there in terms of the size of customers that we work with.
Okay, great. And the payments that are being made when you guys are doing these daily, they're going in as a wire transfer or ACH, right?
So you can choose, yeah. So when you set up your account, you can decide, and you can change this, of course, at any time. You just log into the Payability system, into your Payability account, and you can make changes, but you can set it up for either a wire. We do charge an $8 wire fee, which is just us passing along what wire fee we have to pay to our bank. But if it's ACH, there's no charge. And if you're going to transfer the funds to that pre-funded MasterCard that I mentioned, there's also no charge at all for that.
Okay, awesome. So here's a scenario. Let's say somebody signs up, they get paid every 2 weeks, and they're at the very tail end of their cycle. They're on day 11 or 12 when they get approved. Does Payability go back nearly those 2 weeks and grab all the earnings and make those available immediately the next day?
Yep, we sure do. So what'll happen is when you're actually going through the approval process, there's and when you go through the sign-up process, there's a part where you actually grant us access to your account, and you basically invite our platform as a user to your Payability or to your Amazon account. Once that happens, then our system starts logging in, and that allows us to be able to get insight for a couple of days while you're going through the rest of the approval process, et cetera. And our account's not doing anything, or our platform's not doing anything other than just pulling down earnings and seeing your earnings and your health statistics. So then by the time that you actually then go live, we already have all of that data pulled. And so going all the way back to whatever your last payment was, then we'll automatically make 80% of those funds available to you.
Great. This is all for Seller Central. That's what we've been talking about. But you guys also have a program available for those that are doing Vendor Central, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So what we offer for vendors who are typically being paid net 30, net 60, sometimes even as long as net 90, we offer a weekly payment program. And so the idea there is instead of it being a daily access to your sales, we do that on a once a week cadence. And so we would look at once a week, we would look at your prior week's sales and then make that cash available to you. But other than that, it's effectively the same concept and more or less the same overall product and platform.
Okay, great. And can you talk a little bit about the Cashback MasterCard?
Yeah, so the Cashback MasterCard is great because there's a lot of our customers who are playing, arbitrage game, or they just have suppliers or vendors that they can actually pay with a credit card. And so rather than just paying with a credit card where you're only getting miles, you can now actually get cash back. So if you just simply transfer the funds to your Payability provided pre-funded MasterCard, just like you would put it on your bank account, which is real simple, just a couple of clicks within your Payability account, your Payability dashboard. Once you're a customer, you put those funds onto your card, and it's a virtual card, so you don't actually get a card in the mail. All you do is you have a number, and you use it just like any other online transaction for that card. You can even attach it to your PayPal account or to your Apple Pay account and use it that way. And effectively, it just works just like any other kind of pre-funded account or credit card, where you can just use the funds down to a zero balance, but you get 1% cash back for all of that spending.
Awesome. A little bonus, a little treat there.
Exactly.
What if somebody wants to get out? Okay, they've signed up, they've been doing it for a while. For whatever reason, at this point, they no longer need the services. What's the process there?
So you can cancel anytime. We do ask for a 90-day notice on cancellation. The reason for that is just to kind of clean up, make sure that there's no that there are no accounting issues or anything like that. But you can cancel at any time, and then over the course of kind of that quarter, then we will basically have your account be canceled. We're relatively flexible on that, though, if the account is in good shape and in good order. And we also, though, have a free trial, and so you can cancel within the free trial, and there's no notice or anything like that. You can just cancel and walk away if you decide you don't like the service. So it's super easy to get started. No commitment. If you cancel before your free trial is up, you never pay a penny to Payability at all.
Cool. And how long is the free trial for?
So for your audience or for the rest of the world? So we do have a free trial for everybody else. That is a 1-week free trial. For your audience, we have a 2-week free trial.
Awesome. Well, I like that. After the show finishes here, I'm going to give you guys a little bit more information on some other cool deals that we're bundling into this. So stay tuned for that. And hey, Keith, where are you guys located, by the way?
We're in New York City.
New York. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So if people want to reach out to you specifically or your team, what's the best way of doing that?
Yeah, so you're welcome to reach out to me directly. I don't know if I'll regret this or not, but I'm K Smith at Payability. Can put you in touch with our amazing sales team if anybody has any questions. The best way, frankly, though, to work with Payability is just go to our site, payability.com, and sign up. And you'll see the form right there on our homepage. You start that process. There's no commitment. You can walk through the whole process, as you mentioned, in about 10 minutes. Sign our contract online. Then you'll hear from our folks, our support staff, in order to do the final pieces that you need in order to get your account set up. So it's super easy, super painless, and like I said, no commitment.
That's awesome. And guys, yeah, I'm using them. I wouldn't recommend them otherwise. So definitely check them out. We're going to put a link in the show notes to where you can get a special offer just for our listeners. Definitely check it out. So Keith, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Manny.
Guys, how cool was that, right? Man, I wish I could have been using Payability back in the beginning when I first started out. It would have solved so many problems. I told you in the beginning of the podcast there was going to be a special, so stay tuned. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But I want to mention that I do use Payability, right? I don't promote anything that I'm not actually using myself, something that's not making me money, it's not helping my business, it's not saving time. I don't do that. You guys know that. So I'm going to talk to you about how you can get a really cool deal here. Much better than if you go to payability.com directly, okay? So if you use the link that we have, it's an affiliate link, okay? So we're gonna get a little something out of it, but you're gonna get a lot out of it. Here's what you get, okay? The website link is ampmpodcast.com/payability. I'm gonna repeat that. It's ampmpodcast.com/payability. It's also gonna be in the show notes. When you go through that link, that'll take you to a specially co-branded page that we've set up with the company, with Payability. That's going to get you automatically a double trial period. So instead of 7 days, you're going to go to a 14-day free trial. The second thing that's super awesome is the cash back on the MasterCard that they give you is going to be 50% more than what you get if you go directly. So 50% more right off the bat, okay? And then if that's not enough, we're going to bribe you here. We're going to give you a heavy bribe. Okay, we're going to give you some Helium 10 bonuses. What we want to do is we got a program. It's called the Platinum Plus Plan, and it's $197 per month. We're going to give you $196 off your first month. Okay, so it's just $1 for that first month. And then after that, we're going to give you $100 off every single month, okay, for the year. So that's a $1,200 savings there. So that brings the price down from $197 a month down to $97 per month if you want to continue. Okay, you can always cancel after your first month if you'd like, but this is a special deal. It's worth, $1,297 in bonuses right here, just for using that affiliate link. Okay, the affiliate link gives us a little bonus, and we give you a big bonus. So, quick edit insert. I forgot to add this at the original recording. If you want to get that Helium 10 bonus, you need to email support@helium10.com. Do that after your free trial has ended. Okay, that's the only way we can check it and confirm that you actually signed up through our affiliate link. So again, support@helium10.com. Send an email along with your email address that you used to sign up over there, and you'll be set. But do that after your 2-week free trial period is finished. Please use that link, ampmpodcast.com/payability. Like I said, I use them. I've run almost $100,000 through the system already. And how cool is it though, guys, when you need the money every single day? Like right now, the money could be used to buy inventory instead of waiting 2 weeks. Get it right now. Okay, maybe you're 10 days out. Get the money now and start getting those orders in. At least you can use it for your 10% down or 20% down, whatever it is that you use for your suppliers. So I can't recommend them enough. These guys are awesome. The guys over there are super pro, and they're cool. So yeah, check it out. And guys, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope to bring you some awesome content like this in the future. Awesome deals. Till next time, keep crushing it. Take care. If you like this episode, check out episode 87, where I go over my November earnings and I break down everything. How much profit I've made, how much I spent on advertising, you name it.
You've been listening to the AM/PM podcast hosted by Manny Coats. For more information, insider tools, and to get the resources mentioned in this episode, visit ampmpodcast.com.